Did you know Prince stopped speaking to his ex-wife when she lost their first son? Did Prince have any children from his previous 2 marriages? Prince's music career was unveiled with albums such as Prince, Dirty Mind, and Controversy. These albums garnered significant notice for their unique blend of religious and sexual themes. Subsequently, he launched the widely acclaimed records, 1999, and Purple Rain, solidifying his status as a superstar. These albums featured chart-topping hits like When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy, further elevating his prominence in the music industry. So, if you're a Prince fan or simply curious about this legend, hit the like button and let's dive in. How was Prince's early life like? To gain insight into the life of Prince Rogers Nelson, we must trace his origins back to Minneapolis, his birthplace on June 7, 1958. Born to a pianist and songwriter for a father and a jazz singer for a mother, Prince's determination to match his father's musical prowess led him to self-teach piano from a young age, composing his inaugural melody at the tender age of 7. He also independently picked up the skills to play the guitar and drums. Music served as a beacon of light during a challenging childhood. His parents' separation at the age of 10, followed by his mother's swift remarriage, resulted in a strained relationship with his stepfather, leading Prince to shuttle between his parents' homes for years. In a 2009 interview with Tavis Smiley, Prince disclosed that he had experienced epileptic seizures as a child and endured taunting from schoolmates. He shared that he attempted to compensate for his painful upbringing by embracing a conspicuously vibrant and audacious persona. At the age of 10, Prince had a falling out with his father and relocated to the Andersons, his neighbors. There, he forged a friendship with their son, Andre, who later adopted the stage name Andre Simone. Together, they formed a local band named Grand Central, performing gigs in the Minneapolis area. In subsequent years, Andre Simone would become Prince's bass guitarist during the early stages of his fame. During his teenage years, Prince devoted countless hours to a basement studio owned by a local DJ. There, he painstakingly transcribed the lyrics of musical legends like Aretha Franklin and James Brown. Before long, he began composing his own songs and honing his vocal abilities. At the age of 16, Prince decided to leave school, already on his way to pioneering what would become known as the Minneapolis Sound, a subgenre of funk rock distinguished by its heavy use of synthesizers and electronic drum machines. How he got started in music. After extensive negotiations, Prince, at the young age of 19, successfully persuaded Warner Brothers to grant him the unprecedented creative control to not only perform all the musical instruments but also produce his debut album, For You. This decision marked a historic moment in his career. With Andre by his side, Prince embarked on the journey to create the album at the record plant in Sausalito, California. The endeavor consumed nearly 2 months of relentless, round-the-clock recording sessions to reach completion. When it came time to promote the album in 1978, Prince was remarkably specific about his image and how he wanted to present himself to the world. He aimed to transcend categorization as solely an R&B artist or simply a black artist. Instead, he aspired to be seen as a genre-defying, innovative pop star capable of appealing to mainstream audiences and receiving airplay on radio stations across every corner of every city. What are the biggest songs of Prince? 1. Purple Rain. This is perhaps Prince's most iconic song and the title track from the soundtrack of the movie of the same name. It's an epic ballad that has become synonymous with his career. 2. When Doves Cry, a chart-topping hit from the Purple Rain album, known for its unique sound and memorable guitar riffs. 3. Kiss, a funky and infectious track that became one of Prince's signature songs. 4. Little Red Corvette. This song was a massive hit and helped establish Prince as a major star. 5. 1999, an upbeat, party anthem that captured the spirit of the 1980s. 6. Raspberry Beret, a catchy, pop rock song that remains a fan favorite. 7. Sign O' the Times, the title track from one of his most critically acclaimed albums. 8. I Would Die For You, a standout track from the Purple Rain album. 9. Diamonds and Pearls, the title track from one of his successful albums of the early 90s. 10. Cream, a funky, seductive song that became a hit in the early 90s. These are just a few of Prince's biggest and most enduring hits, but his catalog is extensive, spanning various genres and styles. His impact on music and culture is immeasurable, and his songs continue to be celebrated and enjoyed by fans around the world. Did Prince have a beef with Rick James? Prince and Rick James did have some publicized conflicts and rivalry in the 1980s, although it's important to note that their relationship was complex and evolved over time. Their rivalry began when both artists were at the peak of their careers. Rick James, known for his funk and R&B music, was already established in the music industry. Prince, on the other hand, was an emerging artist who was quickly gaining popularity with his unique blend of funk, rock, and pop. One of the most well-known incidents involving their rivalry was the release of Prince's 1981 album, Controversy, which included the track, Jack You Off. Many perceived the song's lyrics as a direct dig at Rick James, leading to speculation about their rivalry. Over time, as their careers took different paths, the intensity of their rivalry seemed to diminish. By the late 1980s and 1990s, they both continued to make music but were not engaged in public feuds to the same extent as earlier in their careers. Was Prince gay? Prince was a complex and multifaceted artist who defied traditional gender norms and explored various aspects of sexuality and identity in his music and persona. Prince was known for his unique and often ambiguous approach to sexuality and gender, which added an element of mystery and intrigue to his public image. While he may have incorporated elements of gender fluidity and explored different perspectives in his songs and performances, it doesn't necessarily provide conclusive evidence about his sexual orientation. Prince was married to Mayte Garcia. His first marriage was to his backup dancer, Mayte Garcia. They initially crossed paths with Prince when she was just 16 years old. Their paths would converge again 6 years later, leading to a whirlwind romance that culminated in marriage on Valentine's Day in 1996. At the time, Prince was 37 years old, while Mayte was 22. Shortly after their wedding, Mayte Garcia became pregnant, but their joy was tragically short-lived. Their baby boy was born with Pfeiffer syndrome, a rare and severe skull defect that exerts pressure on the brain. Sadly, their son passed away only 7 days after birth. Mayte recounted the heartbreaking moment when their child was held up in the harsh glare of the hospital lights, and the elation on Prince's face turned to sheer terror. Despite this devastating loss, Mayte and Prince embraced their roles as parents with unwavering love for their son. The combination of their profound loss and other personal challenges, including Prince's affair, ultimately took a toll on their marriage. Prince and Mayte Garcia separated in 1998, and their marriage was officially annulled in 2000. In the following year, Prince entered into a new marriage. Manuela Testolini. Prince and Manuela Testolini's relationship began when she was 24 years old and Prince was 43. They initially met because Testolini worked for Prince's charity, Love for One Another, and their shared commitment to philanthropy brought them closer. In 2001, they exchanged vows in a private wedding ceremony. Unfortunately, Prince's marriage to Testolini, like his previous one, was relatively short-lived. In 2006, Testolini filed for divorce. Despite the end of their marriage, it was described as an amicable separation, and they appeared to maintain mutual respect for each other. Who was Prince's late son Amir Nelson? Amir Gregory Nelson was indeed the son of Prince and Mayte Garcia. His life was marked by tragedy as he suffered from a rare genetic disorder known as type 2 Pfeiffer syndrome, which placed immense pressure on his skull and caused severe health complications. Tragically, Amir passed away just 1 week after birth due to breathing difficulties associated with this condition. The circumstances surrounding Amir's birth and death were kept private and surrounded by secrecy. Prince gave an interview to Oprah shortly after the birth and death of Amir, during which he cryptically answered questions about whether the child had been born. Records were falsified to keep Prince's connection to the baby's death concealed. For many years, neither Prince nor Mayte publicly acknowledged the tragic loss of their infant son. It wasn't until 8 months after Amir's death that a medical examiner officially ruled on the cause of his passing. At that time, it was revealed that Amir, known to the world as Boy Gregory, had died from natural causes due to type 2 Pfeiffer syndrome, a condition that led to his respiratory difficulties. The heartbreaking loss of Prince's only child remained hidden from the public eye for an extended period. How Prince died. Prince passed away on April 21, 2016. His cause of death was determined to be an accidental death. Prince was found unresponsive in an elevator at his Paisley Park estate in Chanhassen, Minnesota. Attempts to revive him were unsuccessful, and he was pronounced dead at the age of 57. After Prince's autopsy was conducted, his remains were cremated, and a private funeral was held on April 23, 2016. The intimate gathering was attended by close family and friends to bid their final farewells to the legendary musician. It's worth noting that Prince had undergone hip surgery some years before his passing, which had reportedly caused him recurring discomfort during his performances. This physical strain from his hip issues was one of the factors contributing to concerns about his health in the years leading up to his tragic death. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you on the next video.